First thing in the morning, next day, we just got to finish that truck that's in there. So I told you guys about the swap. We're going to go pick up this NV5600 for this tonight. And I was looking into trying to get it tuned for the manual. So I called Edge, because I have an Edge. They said they can't do it. The dealership said they took away the ability to do it 5 years ago. So I can't swap the PCM internals like they could just flash it to be a manual. So we're going to be looking into Smarty, I guess. I got to call them and see if they're able to do it. But I'm going to go pick up the NV5600 tonight. We're going to get the mega cab done today. This thing's still sitting here. It should be sold by the time you see this video. Not sure. Depending on the response I get from the last video, will determine on what we do with all the shit that's inside. Because I told the guy to take all his stuff. And, I mean, he pays my transport fees. Come get your shit and... truck is gone. Not super excited about the manual swap, but I definitely I'm excited to actually get a transmission, and then I need to get injectors. And then this thing is 100%, like there is nothing wrong with this truck, besides the rust, but rust doesn't. Mega cab is almost complete. We are just waiting. It just got shit delivered, so I'm gonna head back to the house, go grab the boot. She runs really, really good. Wastegate works now. I don't know if I showed you guys the other one. Runs good. I'm gonna get the lights switched off over on this, and I'm gonna go to see if I can't get 2 more clamps, because I need to go get 2 clamps and the boot. So I'll show you guys the old turbo housing sitting down here. Other side. I got it to move, but you can see it's rusted solid. So new turbo. Like I said, he's taken the time to put the money into the truck. So if you guys want a good truck, it's in there for sale. And slowly been using this thing. I know I've been leaving this on here. If somebody wants to like make me a mount or something, or I can do it at some point, I want to make a mount so that this can sit in there, because I actually do use this thing quite a bit. So what I'll do, if I need to get the tailgate down, this is kind of what I've been doing with it. So now it'll sit like that. And then I can just pretty much kick the whole thing over. And now it sits right there. So it doesn't block the tail light. All I gotta do is loosen the bolts a little bit, push it out, and I can pull the tailgate down. We're getting mud flap fuel now, and I have some great news for you guys. So here's how we're starting this video off, right? So, because What's-His-Nuts decided to screw me over on the 2nd gen that I bought, and he was supposed to throw me a G56, I went and bought an NV5600 swap kit. Now, unfortunately, I'm still gonna have to redo the drive shaft. This drive shaft's not the greatest. So I'm gonna go drop this section off on Monday, and they're gonna use the yoke, and then I'm gonna have a brand new NV5600 drive shaft. I need to go get some other things, clutch hydraulics. I need to go grab that stuff, and possibly a clutch. I also need to get an adapter plate and whatnot. So you guys can see here, we pretty much got everything. Shifter, like all this stuff, which we're not gonna use some of that stuff. I'm gonna keep the automatic stuff in there, just in case we do ever go back. But we do have everything. I'm gonna get this case cleaned up, and then we will we'll go from there. So we're back at the shop. I'm gonna show you everything we did have. There's the turbo we just replaced on that mega cab. Big old chunk missing out of it down here, and a couple of them. But we got all of the floor pieces, which we're not going to use. We're not going to use the shifter. We're going to use this shifter. We're not going to use this floor shifter. I have one. I need the pedal off of that. I need to get a master and slave cylinder. Here's the transfer case. Yes, we are keeping it 4-wheel drive. Believe it or not, I actually do use 4-wheel drive a lot more in this truck than I did my last truck. I never used 4-wheel drive in my other truck. But here is the NV5600. And I'm gonna go get this drive shaft. Actually, I'm gonna have to pay to get both drive shafts rebuilt, front one and the rear, because you can see, like this one's there's some crunchy in that one, and then up here, that one's bad. He gave me that. And then the trans is kind of crusty. Just one of those. I'm gonna reuse this yoke. Actually, I'm just gonna drop this drive shaft off on Monday. And if he didn't do my other drive shaft, I'll just have him fix this one and balance it and all that, because I want this to be perfect. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I'm probably gonna paint this, like, because I'm not rushing it. I'm gonna probably get this transmission painted and make it look as pretty as possible. I'm thinking that nice blue tealish color that you guys don't like. So I want to get this thing perfect, and that way when it goes down the road, I don't know that I don't have any issues with it, because that's the thing we're doing with this truck, is we're taking our time with a lot of this stuff. And it's kind of nice driving a truck that literally has had no problems with it. and I don't have to work on it all the time. I can get in it, start it up, and just drive it somewhere, and I don't have to worry about it blowing up. So that's just been the thing lately. I'm gonna get this popped over. Probably not gonna use this, but I will toss it aside just so that we have the measurements for it. And this is a shift on the floor transfer case. You can see right there. We'll get this cleaned up as well. Probably get that painted. And all right, transmission is down. Like I was saying, it's in okay condition. The truck that it was in was a pretty big rust bucket. But I got him closing the tailgate. I'm gonna have to push that out. You guys will see how simple this is. Pull this pin here, pop it on the other side. That way it doesn't hit the gate. There you go. Now that's out of the way. Full NV5600 swap. I'm already committed at this point, right? We'll get, like I said, we'll get all this nice and painted and all that to figure out the pedal situation. But I'm gonna get out of here for the day. We're probably gonna do this next Saturday. I just need to find an adapter plate and a fork. I need the fork that goes in there. So we're gonna go through, everything's gonna get new. Everything, you know, that I can afford is gonna be new and in good condition. This little guy in there, that little drive shaft's expensive to rebuild. And that one, I don't know how much he's going to charge me to do that one, but I want to get it rebalanced, new carrier. The carrier's shot, so might as well just take this one in and, you know, keep the other one, sell the other one if I can. As for this thing over here, I know you guys have been asking me a ton of questions about it. I have a couple people coming to look at it, and on top of that, dude said he was going to pay me $2,500 on Monday. So, I mean, everything's been excuses up until this point. And actions speak louder than words, so if he actually does pay me, I will update you guys and let you know if he does. But he claims he's gonna. If he doesn't, I'll let you know, and if he does, I'll let you know. It doesn't matter. There's definitely some money here. Oh, I did get the comment on if I can get 12 valves for $1,500, why would I say this one's worth $4? And just because I can get them for $1,500 doesn't mean everybody can. Right now, prices on 12 valves, I've seen them anywhere up to $5,500, which is just astronomical, which I don't think you're going to get that. But I've also seen like one right now for as low as $1,500, but generally about $2,500 for the motor. But yeah, I wouldn't let it go for that, knowing how much stuff's done with it. But there you go. You don't have to agree with me, but there you go. So title in hand, should be gone soon. Now, the initial plan was to do the G56. You know, for the price I was going to get it for would have been great, because then I didn't have to buy all of this. But the NV5600, you can at least float them. So that's the nice thing about an NV5600, whereas a G56, you have to use the clutch every time. And you guys know me, I don't like using the clutch. So on top of this, once this is done and we see how she drives and all that, I'm gonna have that transmission. We might just end up selling it because the trans is still good. It needs a torque converter and a front pump. Maybe a good refresher on the inside, but that's whoever wants to throw it in. That trans is giving me no issues other than getting hot every now and again from the converter. But besides that, let's get out of here. Might have to look into an upgraded clutch at some point as well. That's a stock one. We're gonna run it for now, but I know this transmission's gonna come back out in the future to do an upgraded clutch, because I mean, unfortunately I can't afford to do all of this at once, but at the very least everything else will be new. All right, so you guys can see we are not doing a two-wheel drive swap like I did on my last truck. My last truck, I never used two-wheel drive after I got done with power only, and now it seems like in this truck I use it every single day. Just one of those, like, it was either get a two-wheel drive dually and lower the shit out of it, or get a four-wheel drive single wheel. And I do think that the single wheel is a little bit more practical for what I'm using right now. I know a lot of guys said I should just go get a dually. Really, I'm running like 4 loads a month. It's just, to me, I just can't justify it. That's just me. But, you know, everybody to each their own. All right, so we got our NV5600 two-wheel drive shaft back. And I took the four-wheel drive shaft. We just got it dropped off. I'm gonna wait to do the front one once I get the rear one back, just for affordability wise, so we might not have four-wheel drive for a minute. But there you go. We are getting everything taken care of. Getting everything taken care of with the NV5600 swap. We gotta go get fluid, clutch hydraulics, possibly a clutch, and Trying to think of what other stuff we need. We also need the transmission mount. I'm gonna go grab that too.